We all have them, hidden mental habits that secretly kind of sabotage our performance. Well, today we're going to drag them right out into the light. So let me ask you this straight up. Are your daily habits, the ones you don't even think about, are they actually holding you back? It's a really powerful question, and I think the answer might just surprise you. All right, so let's dive in and explore these really subtle habits, the ones that can genuinely lower your intellectual performance. You can think of them as cognitive blind spots, right? Like an invisible anchor that's weighing down your thinking. Our job today is to make that anchor visible.
Okay, first up, let's talk about a habit that, well, I think many of us are guilty of, especially in this crazy, fast-paced world we live in. It's called the instant reaction.
So look at the difference here. It's pretty stark. On one side, you have the low performance habit, reacting instantly, just jumping to conclusions, firing off a response without a second thought. But on the other side, the high performance approach is, well, it's just to pause. That's it. To take a breath, actually assess the situation, and then act. It seems like such a small change, but trust me, it makes a huge difference. And that tendency to just react instead of properly responding, it leads us straight into our second habit. This is what happens when we stop challenging ourselves. We get stuck in the comfort zone.
So here's the real issue with the comfort zone. When you consistently avoid stuff that's mentally tough, it leads to low cognitive flexibility. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a muscle. If you never stretch it, what happens? It gets rigid, stiff, and way less useful.
And this creates a really nasty feedback loop. Look at this. Step 1, you encounter a challenge. Step 2, you feel that totally natural discomfort. But then, step 3, the low performance habit kicks in. You immediately retreat back to something familiar and easy. And the result? Step 4, your cognitive flexibility actually weakens, which just makes the next challenge feel even harder. It's a downward spiral. So, what's the antidote? What are we aiming for instead? It's this right here, cognitive flexibility. This is that absolutely crucial skill of being able to adapt your thinking on the fly, right? To pivot when a situation suddenly changes or something unexpected pops up. This is the stuff that allows for real intellectual growth and, some seriously creative problem solving. All right, our third and final habit. This one is maybe the most counterintuitive of them all. It's called the expertise illusion. It's this really strange phenomenon where we believe we're smarter than we actually are. And this quote just sets the stage perfectly, doesn't it? The wise know they know nothing. The foolish think they know it all. It sounds like some ancient piece of wisdom, but what's wild is that modern psychology has actually proven this is a real, measurable cognitive bias. And here it is, the Dunning-Kruger Effect. It's absolutely fascinating. It's a bias where the very lack of skill you have in something prevents you from seeing your own mistakes. Think about that. You literally don't know what you don't know. And so, what do? You confidently and wrongly overestimate your own competence. This chart just illustrates it perfectly. Okay, look at the bar for low skill. Their perceived ability is way up there, sky high, but their actual ability, it's way down low. Now compare that to the high skill bar. See, their actual ability is high, but their perception of it is more moderate, more realistic. Why? Because they're actually aware of all the complexities, all the nuances that they haven't mastered yet. Okay, so we've laid out all the pitfalls. The big question now is, how do we climb out of them? How do we start thinking smarter? Well, it really just comes down to flipping those negative habits right on their head. So instead of reacting instantly, what do? We learn to pause and assess. Instead of retreating from challenges, we learn to embrace them. That's how we build flexibility. And to fight back against that expertise illusion, we cultivate self-awareness and a little bit of intellectual humility. And listen, if you take one thing away from all this, let it be this. The most crucial point is that just being aware of these habits, that's the first and most important step. That awareness is literally the key that unlocks the door to better thinking, to better performance. So that leaves us with one last thought for you to chew on. Now that you know about the instant reaction, the comfort zone, and the expertise illusion, which one of these cognitive pitfalls are you going to tackle first?